The rise of the dreadhead era. Now, me myself, I got some fucking dreads. You know what I'm saying? I've had dreads for like 2-3 years now. You know what I'm saying? I love my locks. You know what I'm saying? They look great. They look great. I do need a retwist though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna get one soon. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie, bro. I remember back then when dreads used to be looked down upon though. Like if you had dreads, like this was back, like there was like a whole era, like when like niggas, everyone wanted dreads, everybody was getting dreads. I think nowadays, you had the curly light skinned headed nigga, coming to steal your girl, some shit like that. Like there were just so many like the waves, right? You know what I'm saying? But let's see what's going on, bruh.
Long ago, back before the ages of COVID, TikTok, and quarantine, black guys were neglected from female attraction as most girls fawned over white boys with the comb-overs and emo
The Justin Bieber era?
hairstyles,
Yeah.
derivative of the likes of white boy icons girls dreamed of, such as Justin Bieber, One Direction, or the Jonas Brothers, or Hispanic men with the perms or slicked back hair and blonde highlights like that of Ronaldo or Neymar. The closest
Bro, I remember when niggas used to get like what's that shit called? The frohawk? Where it was a mohawk, but it was like a fro.
thing to girls gaining attraction to black men back then was white boys that had black in them, otherwise known as mixed guys.
Like myself.
Black men were a niche
I'm one of them.
type of attraction in women, as it was mainly black women that remained the main source of attraction to them. And even within that group, there was still a divide. You had the interracial battle of dark skins versus the light skins, and the light skins, as opposed to today, had the upper hand. But on both sides, you had black guys that rocked waves. Which at the time,
yeah, this was the big one. Everyone wanted waves, bruh.
all the way up until the 2018 era, was the #1 hairstyle for black men that pulled all the black women. You had sponged mini fros, which carried.
I had this too. I had like the mini fro. I had a fro before I had dreads, bro. I had a fro. And I would like get the sponge with the circles. I think I still have it to this day. And you just go like this. You know what I'm saying? It was clean. It was
Aura within themselves, like waves, as long as you had a really nice cut and lineup to back them up. You had braids, which was the dominant hairstyle for light skins.
I had braids.
Not exactly mixed, but just light-skinned black men. These three hairstyles dominated the black guy scene, as black girls fawned over men that had these kind of cuts, giving off a fresh, clean look to them. In the 90s, the term snow bunny was created.
Nigga, the snow bunny? Snow bunny mind control?
To identify white women who took attraction to black men. And the snow bunny,
we still got that today.
Population at this time was at an all-time low, as it was niche for white girls to take a liking into black men. It was rare. But with waves, a sponged mini fro, and a good lineup, or braids, you had a very good shot at winning a white girl's attention if you had a good personality.
Right.
But there was only one hairstyle that never had the spotlight shined onto it, and that only a select amount of black guys had. The hairstyle that was looked down upon as dirty.
Dreads, bruh. It used to be. The fact that we even call it dreads is insane. I don't know why. I need to stop saying that. It's not dreads, they're locks. I have locks, you know what I'm saying? My locks are fire, bro. Not gonna lie. I do think I need to trim my hair though, so I need to eventually like trim it down a bit because it's getting way too long. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Lazy, unpresentable, and tacky. The kind of hairstyle Jamaican stoners owned and gave its identity to. And that hairstyle was named dreadlocks. People who despised them called them dreads, as they gave off.
Yeah, that's why we shouldn't say dreads. We should say locks.
A napped up, bummy-esque look for people who were seen as unhygienic. People who,
it's just racist stereotype shit.
Who knew the history and cultural essence behind them called them locks. As
locks,
your hair
yes, that's what I meant to say. I say dreads, I really mean to say locks. So I'm sorry. I know some of you are gonna get pissed off and be like, nigga, say it right. I'm sorry.
Up within itself, creating crocheted and natted hair in a unique way. Seeing a black guy with dreads at the time during the 2000s to 2010s era was rare, as many black guys who had dreads had the hairstyle from a young age. With reasons being for convenience and lack of worry for maintenance. But most people,
nah, you gotta maintain it. You gotta get a retwist like once a month.
Rather saw it as lazy and unpresentable rather than time-savoring and convenient. Some say it gave off a dirty look, a tacky look, as it was a cultural style amongst Caribbean African people. For years, almost no black man had dreads. That was until a
Right.
hybrid hairstyle called freeforms took up a storm around the
Freeforms.
2019 to 2020 era.
There's the freeforms, semi-freeforms, and then um controlled locks. I forgot what it was called, bro. Mine's are controlled. I don't have freeforms. You know what I'm saying?
Freeforms were a form of dreads that formed from excessive hair sponging
Right.
and lack of hair detangling and
We
picking.
we know what this one is. I did this one. I had this. I did this for a while. I did.
Parents and older black women hated the idea of freeforms as it embraced the laziness and nappy tackiness of regular locks, but it was perfected with lineups and maintenance.
Right.
The great cough of 2020 happened and the world went under quarantine with lots of guys having to stay home, rid of any female interaction in public appearance. Guys who had fros decided to use this time and experiment, and guys
I'm not. Yo, this nigga is like, what, bro? Because I was dead ass experimenting. Because I went from having a fro, then I did braids, then I started doing the freeform shit or like using the sponge, you know. And then, well, you if you're using the sponge, it's like semi freeform. It's not full on freeform. Freeform is when you like just let your hair lock up naturally, like like uh like some of the people you saw, they're it's like some parts of their dreads are thicker and thinner than others because they just let their hair locked up on their own. So that's what happens when you get free forms. But like, yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Like I was experimenting, bro, for a minute. Now I will admit I did not have dreads when I was a kid because my parents did not allow me to have hairstyles like that. I did try to get dreads when I was in high school, but the problem was like I just got impatient and I took them out, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Yes, I did. I was like 12, 13 at the time, so it's like okay, I was young, and then I kept the fro, with the nice, taper fade, and you know what I'm saying. I still get a taper fade because my locks, they're not, I don't have a like, oh shit. Well, my hair's still kind of parted. I mean, but I do need a retwist though. But when you like notice, my hair is super long, but it's it's only the top of my head that has dreads, not the not. It's I don't have a full head of locks. I just have like just up around the side. You know what I'm saying? But hold on. You know what I mean? I've had dreads for like 2 years now. You know, you know what I mean? They're pretty simple to maintain, like because I'm not the one that's doing it. But if I was the one that had to take care of my own dreads, like I had to like give myself a retwist, it would take the whole day to do that shit, right?
with freeforms wanted to evolve into something greater. Black guys ended up getting twisted coils, or known as twists.
Twist.
And some with freeforms decided to get their hair retwisted and commit to the dreadlock look as well.
Right.
Black guys sought the convenience in locks and how low maintenance it provided, as well as the various styles that can be done with them.
The barrel twists. I sometimes every like I would say at least once a year I get a barrel twist. Usually I get the 2-strand twist though. And that's the one that I always get, 2-strand twist. And then rarely will I ever get just regular retwist on some shit.
They had the presentability of a fresh cut and the versatility of the likes of
Hold on, go back. Hold on.
them. They had the presentability of a fresh cut and the
Yeah, this is like my like it's like this. This is how my hair is right here. That is how it is. I haven't gotten a haircut, recently, but I will soon. But like, yeah.
versatility of the likes of braids, the best of both worlds. How didn't they think of this before? As more black guys decided to grow dreads during quarantine, they
Facts.
came back
It was in quarantine when I started thinking like, damn, I want to get dreads, bro. I'm not gonna lie. The thing is though, a lot of people nowadays are cutting off their dreads. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna be one of them niggas, bro. No, don't even do that. Don't even try to hit me with the you got dreads because other niggas got dreads. And even if that was somewhat kind of the case, which it kind of was, but I've never had a hairstyle like this before, like to have dreads, because I always had a fro. The most I would get is like braids, but that was like once every few years. You know what I mean? And so I was like, I really want a new hairstyle. I want to be able to have like a new hairstyle. Then I decided, hey, let's get some dreads, but let me get my hair locked up.
after it all ended with long locks in various styles such as 2-strand twists,
Right.
twist outs, and barrel
That's how my hair is, a twist out.
twists. Black girls who once thought dreads were bummy and nasty and preferred waves on
I will say though, if you don't take care of your dreads, if you don't oil your dreads up with with the oils and stuff like that, and your hair is dry, nappy, your first of all, your dreads are gonna fall apart. Like little pieces can come out if it's dry. You know what I mean? So you have to you can't just have dreads and then just oh, I don't care anymore. Like no, you have to kind of if whenever my hair feels dry, I start spraying it down with fuck fuck, what is it called, bruh? I have it. It's in my bathroom, bruh. I know some people they have mixed bottles of different oils. Like I think it's argan, tea tree oil, peppermint oil. What's another? Is it coconut oil, bruh? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, bro. You know what I'm saying? But whenever my hair does feel dry, I do spray it up, oil it up. Because, if your hair gets too dry, your dreads will actually start falling out. Like, it literally falling out if you don't take care of it.
all men at the time, saw the grown potential in front of their very eyes at its finest and fell in love with black men with holding dreads. But it wasn't just black women that fell in love with them. White girls seen the new wave of black men with dreads and fell in love as well, as they've never seen something like them before. What once was a small percentage of snow bunnies skyrocketed as more and more white girls fell in love with black men because of dreads.
But the reason why I think dreads are more appealing now is because people are actually taking care of their hair now. Because a lot of niggas, they get dreads and it's them shits is ass, gang. I'm not gonna lie. Because if you got to make sure when you're getting dreads, you can make them thick, you can make them thin. Mine are my hair is pretty thick, right? Mine aren't too thick. It's kind of in the middle. It's not too thick, but it's not too thin. You know what I mean? It's kind of like his right here. It's kind of like his right here. That's kind of my thickness.
Dreads.
Thickness. Ew.
And girls other than white and black, such as Latina and Asian, followed the trend as well and gained a liking to black men because of dreads. Women called these black men with dreads of what we know now as today, dreadheads. This sparked the dreadheads do it best movement. As thanks to the uprising of dreadheads, the great shift happened where more.
The thing is, though, I will not cut off my dreads for a very long time. The most I would do is instead of going because I have a half hair of locks, I would trim my hair in half and then let the sides grow out and then start, get the crochet needle and put them on the sides of my hair so I can have a full head of locks. That is the one thing I wish I did. I wish I had a full head of locks instead of just at the top only. You know what I mean? That's the one thing I wish I had.
More women paid attention towards black men. And the dreamy side part white boy era was over with. Things were going well for black men with dreads taking up a storm. That was until dread.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't think the dreadheads will ever fall off, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Dreads became the new normal, but not only the new normal, but the new standard. The power of dreads became so great that any black man who didn't have them fell into the inferior minority all over again. Back to square one. Any black guy that had locks got all the hoes. But once they chopped them off for a new change, they immediately lost any attraction they had earned due to the power.
I'm not gonna lie, though. From my experience, a lot of girls actually kind of miss the fro. I'm not gonna lie. But because of how I am, I don't really give a shit if she wants me to have dreads or not. I'm just gonna have dreads because I want dreads. It's not because I want girls' attention. I think that's a big problem of why a lot of you niggas fumble the bag, because you think that just because you have dreads, you gonna get all these fucking girls, and that's not how that works, bro. That's not how that works.
Or their dreads withholded. Black men who had any other hairstyles besides dreads and freeforms had some attraction, but nowhere near as much as the men with dreads. It had gotten to the point where dreadheads had taken attention from all women, stealing hoes from all kinds of men. White, black, Mexican, dreadheads were and still are to this day the ultimate magnet for all the hoes.
Yep.
They helped black men.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't think it would ever I think it's like that forever now, though. If you have dreads, you got it, bro. Not gonna lie, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie, bro. You know what I'm saying? And having dreads is also a journey, because when you start off getting dreads, at first you have the twist and it's it doesn't look bad, but it's eh. But then as each month you'll see results. Your hair will start to get frizzy. You know, your hair will start budding. It'll start becoming mature locks. Mine are starting to become mature locks. My hair did take a little bit longer to lock than usual because I did dye my hair. So if you're gonna get dreads, I would not dye your hair. Make sure, I would say, if I would honestly, it's honestly better to start dreads when your hair is short than it is long, because it takes longer to lock when it's longer than when it is shorter. Because when you know what I mean, short hair locks up quicker. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
and gained the attraction of all hoes, but at what cost? What once was the inferior became something so powerful that it raised the competition of the male attraction scene. Anyone who gains the ability to grow dreads will bear the ultimate unfathomable power to attract hoes they were never.
I'm not gonna lie though, this doesn't work for all people. Some people just don't look good with dreads. Some people actually don't look good with dreads. So just because you get dreads, I mean, you gonna get a bunch of girls on your fucking dick, nigga. That's not how that works. You know, you know. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I might shave off all my facial hair, bro. I kind of miss the baby face. I'm not gonna lie, bro. This video giving me new inspiration.
Able to achieve before. Hair is a man's makeup.
Right.
And the power of dreads solidified that theory. This was the rise of the dreadhead era.
Dang, bro. That's so crazy, because back then, and like, I couldn't get, well, like, it wasn't even that dreads were looked upon, like, down upon back then, because I always thought dreads were cool. Like, I always thought they were cool as fuck. You know what I mean? It was just more of like my parents and my family, you know, like when I was a lot younger, they were like, nah, you can't have dreads. You know, they were kind of like, you need to get a bald fade, like dead ass. You need to get a bald fade. Nowadays, you know, my family, they see my dreads and they're like, oh, your hair actually looks amazing. And it's because I get a haircut, I get a retwist. Even without a haircut, my hair still looks good, bro. You know what I mean? I just wear a hat to cover up the, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I would say the only downsides to having dreads is if you don't know a family member that can do your dreads, you're kind of in like a lose-lose situation, because you end up having to spend I know some of you I know I'm gonna sound crazy for saying this, like $100 to get a retwist. And I know to some of you guys, you're like, damn, $100? You spend $100? I do that shit for free. I don't have family members or people around me that are willing to do that shit for free. So it's like, I have to go to a salon and get my hair done. That's like the only real downside to it, unless I learn how to do my own hair. But just to be honest, I just don't have time, and I'm kind of lazy. I just don't want to have to deal with all that shit. So yeah. But anyways, that's gonna end the video here, bruh. You know, anybody out there, you know, if you think that dreads are the end all be all to shit, like, you know, like, it's not the end all be all. You don't have to get dreads. If you don't want dreads, don't get them just because they look cool. I got dreads because I actually wanted dreads. I think that's just like the big thing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And if you can afford to take care of them, if you don't have like a family member that can do them for you, like, then just, it's not worth it in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, I hope you have a good breakfast, a good dinner, a good night. I love y'all, man. Peace.